welcome to the Beauty Dish. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I am going to review the Charlotte Tilbury Dolce Vita eyeshadow quad, and then I'm going to do a demo for you following the tutorial that Charlotte Tilbury put up on YouTube. She has 10 eyeshadow quads, and each one is meant to create a certain iconic look. And the Dolce Vita is kind of the Italian glamour, like nighttime, smoky, warm, sexy, 1960s Sophia Loren, that whole vibe, okay? So the shades are warm, the shades are smoky, but it's still a neutral palette. And so I'm going to follow her tutorial where, you know, she kind of does the day version that you can do with the palette, and then she kind of enhances it and creates the sexy nighttime look, which I guess is what I've got going on right now. This is the finished look. Okay, let's backtrack and let's talk about the palette. Okay, if you're not that familiar with Charlotte Tilbury, she is a makeup artist based in the UK, and she's really a beauty icon in and of herself. She has this long, fabulous mane of red hair that's always like teased up at the crown, and it's just wild and bohemian, and she's just all sorts of fabulousness. And she's also an incredibly successful celebrity makeup artist. She recently created her own makeup line. I guess it's been around for a year or so. Maybe not even quite that long. Anyway, there is one little problem, and that it's not all that easy to get in the US. So you can order it directly from Selfridges, which is a UK department store, and they will ship it to you. The shipping is expensive. Net-a-Porter also sells it, but only through their UK site, and that's where I got mine. They were having a special offering free express shipping, and you go to the UK site and you kind of just go through, and when it comes to the time to say your country, you say United States, and they still do the free shipping thing for you. So watch out for when they're offering those deals, because I got free shipping and it got to me in like 4 days. It was awesome, and it was packed securely and beautifully, and I was really thrilled with the service. And the palettes cost £38 UK, and when I got it from Net-a-Porter with the conversion, it came to like $51 US and change. So 50 bucks for the palettes. I didn't think it was terrible, but I mean, it's you know, it's not cheap by any means. It's not inexpensive. But for the price, I was just itching and itching to try her products, and with the free shipping deal, I absolutely couldn't resist. I really like the whole aesthetic of her brand. It's very luxurious and feminine, and I really think she is all about just the fun and magic and glamour of being a woman and wearing makeup. Okay, so here's the compact. It's not huge. It's a nice, convenient size. And one kind of unique thing about her eyeshadow palettes is that they do not come with any applicators. And when I opened it, I felt like something was wrong or something was missing, and I couldn't put my finger on it, and then I realized there was no applicator, and I was like, is there a compartment? You know, I was like, what's going on? Because it was just so strange, but I don't mind that at all. I'm going to use my brushes anyway, and I kind of like the baldiness of her not putting the applicators that are just so expected and so standard in makeup, and just going her own way with that. I think it's kind of cool, and it doesn't bother me at all. So you get a nice mirror, and those are the foreshadows. There is 0.18 ounces of product in here. Here is the idea behind her eyeshadow palettes. She says on the box, "I have decoded the secret to mesmerizing eyes. Each palette contains 4 harmonious shades in an easy-to-use application ritual." So she calls this the Prime shade, the lightest one. This is the Enhance shade. This is the Smoke shade. And this is the Pop shade. So I'll talk about that as I do the look, but it's kind of telling you how to apply them, how to use them, but of course you can do anything you want. But she is trying to make it easy for anyone to just look glamorous and look great and use makeup, just to like use and have fun with makeup. And I think that's a really cool philosophy behind her brand. So at first I kind of expected a more luxe texture, a more buttery texture, but then I thought about it and I used the palette, and I realized, most importantly, these shadows blend so well. They blend beautifully. They are kind of a pleasure to work with, and that's kind of my priority with shadows. I like really, really luxe, really easy, just eyeshadows that are just a joy to put on my face, okay? I mean, I know that sounds cheesy, but that's what I want. To compare them to other high-end eyeshadows, I think I don't like them quite as much as my Smashbox Brown Eyes palette. I love this palette. I've done videos about it, I've talked about it, but these are great shadows that I just love to work with, and I like them just a bit more than the Charlotte Tilbury. Now, comparing the Charlotte Tilbury to the Lorac Pro palette shadows, or shadows by the Balm, those really creamy, buttery shadows that do tend to have a lot of fallout, that can even be so inky if the colors are darker that they're kind of hard to blend, and you kind of maybe get stuck in getting a little too much where you don't necessarily want it, and it's harder to work with in that sense. The Charlotte Tilbury are not like that, and that's their strength. I don't always want those dense, inky, buttery, creamy shadows. I kind of like the Smashbox style of eyeshadow that's easy to blend and just a little more subtle, I guess. So as far as lasting power goes, you know me, I have the driest eyelids on earth. I use a primer and the eyeshadow stays on for, you know, like 8 hours without creasing, but nothing creases on me. I don't ever have a problem. It doesn't fade, it doesn't crease, I'm fine. So for me, you know, and compared to other shadows, I think the wear time on these is going to be fine unless you have, you know, the world's oiliest eyelids, but then of course you're using a primer. I think they're fine. To sum things up, I do think Charlotte Tilbury made a really nice product here. It's a product I just enjoy using. I do feel like it kind of enhances my natural beauty, and that's, you know, that's something that I'm focused on more and more in makeup. So I am really enjoying it. I think it's so easy to work with. They blend really well. I know I've said that like 5 times, but the more I work with it, the more I see how much I appreciate that. So I'm going to get into the demo. Let me know if you have tried any of her other products, whether it's eyeshadow or any of the other things. I would love to get my hands on some other stuff, but I don't know, with the conversion, the dollar is so weak to the pound. I don't know. I don't know that I will be anytime soon, but let me know what you like and what you've used. But I definitely recommend these shadows if you are kind of a makeup junkie like me and a Charlotte Tilbury fan, and you just cannot resist the newest luxe eyeshadow palette. I definitely recommend the Dolce Vita, and I think you'll have fun. I think you'll have fun with it. I think it'll be worth your money, although $50 for an eyeshadow palette is not cheap. So, you know, of course we all weigh these costs for ourselves. But I'm really enjoying it, and let's go to the demo. Okay, I just put on my Urban Decay Anti-Aging Eyeshadow Primer, and just like Charlotte Tilbury did, I am starting with the lightest shade, and I'm going to use a dense eyeshadow brush to just pack the color down onto the lid. She put it mostly onto the moving part of the lid, but I'm going a little bit higher since I have kind of small lids. And it's going on really nice. And it's got a nice sheen to it, but it's not glittery or excessive, at least for my liking. Okay, next I'm going to use a blending brush. This is the Sedona Lace EB09. I just got it, and I've never used it, so this will be fun. It's a little smaller than the Sigma or the MAC 217. Okay, so then all she did was, go into this coppery red shade, which I believe this one is the shade that she calls the Enhance shade, and she just packs it, not packs, but kind of runs it into the socket. That's what she said. I just watched the tutorial again a couple of hours ago, so it would be fresh in my mind. Okay, I've got plenty of color on that eye. I'm going to put some over here. Okay, so I'm just going to blend a little. She really blends a ton, and I think that's great advice. Her shadows blend really well. On the model she was working on, she really took it out here, but it's so soft and pretty and blended that I think it kind of works. that was all she did for the dolled down day look, and I've done this before as I've played with this palette all month, and I really do like it. Sorry, I'm looking in the mirror. Okay, that's the day look completely done, and it's not exactly subtle with that feline flick, and she may have kept hers slightly softer in the video, but that's okay. We went for it. Alright, so it's difficult. I don't really like to add eyeshadow after I've done mascara. I find that always a little treacherous, but I'm going to do it now because that sort of was the idea, you know, that you could dress it up for night with this palette. So I'm going into the, I forget what she calls it, if it's the smoke shade, so the one down here, the brown. Like this has a ton of red in it, and this is just a nice brown color. And actually, let's see, I'm going to use the same blending brush. And all she really did was put it through the socket a bit. But when she did it, it looked very soft. And this shade does have a good amount of pigmentation, and it's darker in tone. As long as you just go slow and blend, it does work well in the socket. And it definitely delivers the promise of that whole smoky nighttime Dolce Vita thing. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my little smudger again, and she sort of smoked up that liner a little. And normally I would try to do this right after I put the liner on so that I could really smudge it even more. But this is still working, and it's kind of joining that liner into the brown that's in the crease. Okay, I'm going to just touch on a little more of the red color, the copper, because I don't want to lose it. Wow. So we got that strong. Okay, she also took the brown under the eye. Oh, that's too much. The brown's really intense. I don't think I need any more under the eye. I've got my liner going. Any more, I'm gonna look, I don't know, very squirrel, raccoon-like, and not nearly as good. Okay, so I did the crease, and then the last thing she did was use her finger in the gold shade, and this is like a kind of glitter overcoat, and this is the same exact idea in a lot of the Tom Ford palettes where there's that very, very glittery color. It's meant as, she calls it the pop shade. It's meant as sort of a final pop of glitz and glimmer. And I think if you think about it like that, you'll be a lot happier with it. Using this just kind of as a shadow, you can, but it's kind of uneven. It's kind of got some big glitter particles in it, and it's difficult. You know, it's not, I don't think it's meant to be blended in the same way the other colors are. It's really meant to just be popped on. And there you go, you can see the difference. I kind of covered up that light shade with my glitter, and yeah, I'd say that's a pop. There you go, that's the dolled up glamour Dolce Vita look, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, my friends, that concludes my Charlotte Tilbury Dolce Vita review and demo. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful if you're considering some Charlotte Tilbury. So I'm closing my eyes while I talk to you and looking to the side so you can get a final look at the Dolce Vita glamour that I am displaying for you today. I don't know, I think it really does have that like Italian sex pot, Sophia Loren on the Italian Riviera feeling. I don't know, either that or Charlotte Tilbury is just the best salesperson on earth. The way she can talk up her brand, it's pretty amazing. And if you have green or hazel or blue eyes, oh my god, I mean, I think this would be a great palette for you. And I really do like it. I feel like the more neutral palettes of hers might be more successful, but I don't know, this is the only one I've used, and I like it. I'm happy with it. It's not utter luxury eyeshadow, but it's very, very nice, and I'm enjoying it. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.